Have you ever handled a knife that wasn't yours? Maybe it was a homie's, or, say you're at a knife store, a knife show, you handled a knife and instantly got the feels for it and knew you just had to have that knife. Who am I kidding? If you're here, of course you have. Well, inside of this box is that knife for me. A knife that, the moment I handled it, jumped to the top of my Grail list. What is it? You're going to want to see this. Stick around. What's up, Cripple Crew? EDC with DVD, Disabled but Deadly, with a very exciting video today brought to us via the Pass Around group and BEEDC. He put the TakCom prototype and the Tak Knives Marlin, which I fell in love with so hard that I already have one on the way, should be here any day, into the Pass Around group. But he also sent this knife to me, and he knew it would get me. He knew it would get me. He did it. But as soon as I handled this knife, it jumped to the top of my Grail list. Like, it caught a hold of me. And I'm going to show you why. But first, make sure you stab that like button like you mean it. /subscribe. I'd love to have you here, and you're not going to want to miss all the dope knife and EDC content coming your way. Also, drop a comment below. Let me know what's in your pockets. Not only is it really cool for me to know what you guys are carrying, but it really helps that YouTube algorithm when you interact with my videos. For some reason, it's been blocking a lot of comments on a lot of shorts. And so my shorts have been getting far fewer comments. And so interacting with the videos here really helps me. All right, enough of that crap. One more thing before we open the box. Shout out to the homie MagnaCut. He makes not only some of my favorite knife content on YouTube and Instagram, but he also makes gorgeous and very high quality handmade hanks. You've seen this one, my original hank from him that I love, with that so soft microfiber cloth on the inside. But he just sent me this one. And this gorgeous hank is blacklight reactive. So I really need to get me an arc feld. I've been wanting an arc feld really bad. Not only to check it out as an EDC flashlight, because I love O-light, but for the UV capability, because I'd also like to use it to charge my glow-in-the-dark stuff. But I really need to see what this looks like now. Okay, enough of that. This is what you're here for. I will link homeboy MagnaCut's Etsy store down below. Make sure you check him out. This is The Unnamed by TakCom. Yes, the knife is The Unnamed. That is its name. And first thing I want you to see is this gorgeous laser milling all over every texture on the scale, or every angle on the scales. It's such, there we go, get that to focus right there. That's such fine laser milling. And it not only looks fantastic, but it feels great in hand. I love what they did with the button for the button lock. This is a plunge style button lock. That oval next to the bare pivot looks really cool, and the diamond texture on it is very grippy and looks great next to this milling. We've got T8 hardware all around, including the pocket clip, and all of our hardware is titanium. We've got a very nice milled pocket clip that is For a milled pocket clip, pretty deep carry. Only this much or so sticking out, not bad at all. However, it is not reversible. I guess you might be able to. No, I believe that is milled into the scale. So no, I do not believe that is. Yeah, that's not reversible. That is milled into the scale and then set in there. Okay, so right hand only, but tip up as the gods intended. We do have a mid-length backspacer that wraps around from the bottom. Feels great in hand. But this is really what you want to see. Oh, look at that gorgeous MagnaCut modified clip point blade. That is just so nice. Look at that stonewash job on it that's going to help hide scratches, help keep it looking good. I love the double row of jimping here. Very usable jimping and in just the right spots. You know, I might as well, no, we'll cover the blade. We'll cover the blade first. So, what we're looking at is a 3.44 inch blade of MagnaCut at 62 to 63 HRC. Exactly where we'd like to see it. Very, very happy to see that. This is Bestech OEM. Bestech has learned how to run MagnaCut, so I definitely trust that this is heat treated very well. A handle length of 4.56 inches for an overall length of right at 8 inches. Our blade stock thickness is 3.2 millimeters. It's about 125 thousandths. And we have a pretty tall flat grind. Total weight with all of this metal full 8-inch knife is only 4.9 ounces. It is running on ceramic bearings, as you can tell. And it says the pivot is a T10, so I take that back. That's a T10 pivot and T8 for the other screws, of which there is only 4. Wow, that's very minimal screws. 4 screws, body screws, and then the pivot screw. So that's our specs. But where this knife shines is in the hand. That milling, that laser milling feels great. By the way, that's just a little bit dirty because he insisted that I carry it in my pocket yesterday. I wouldn't carry it because it was his knife and I didn't want to snail trail it. But he told me to give it a carry, so I had to. And it goes in and out of the pocket like a dream with that pocket clip. So, back to the double row of jimping and the ergos. This handle shape is very comfortable. I wear an XL glove, and behind that pivot, I have a full 4-finger grip. I mean, it's a 4.5 inch handle. It's going to have plenty of grip on it. And it's comfortable in the hammer grip, but very comfortable in a saber grip right here. And that thumb ramp for that little poon action with the jimping just holds your thumb perfectly. But then I've got all of this real estate to choke up. I can stay way behind that blade and still be comfortable. Very comfortable grip. I can throw my thumb up to that second row of jimping for some more control, or I can get right behind that blade and for some, control over some long cuts. Very comfortable for an 8-inch knife in the pinch grip. The finger naturally goes right into that choil, and the dip on the front of the blade where that clip happens is just perfect. I can get, because of that clip point, it does drop the tip down below the pivot. So it's very easy to get down onto a surface to do any type of utility cuts or, cutting open boxes, anything like that. There is also some belly for any belly cuts that you need to do, or if you're doing, if you had to skin anything or anything, something like that. Normally, you're not using your $250 folder as a skinner, but hey, some people do, and so you might need to use whatever knife is on you. But very useful for any type of cut that you're doing. It is comfortable because it's got a 4.5-inch handle for me to turn around if I had to cut some straps or something like that. I know what you really want to know about though. Beef Jerky Avenger is so comfortable. I am capped off on that butt. I'm behind that pivot with zero worries that I'm going to creep up anywhere near that blade, especially with the micro milling locking me into this. And then in Beef Jerky Defender, the pocket clip helps lock it into my hand right up in here. That natural, that micro milling gives me a real good grip. I cap off the butt. I'm nowhere near that blade. Even if I get some beef jerky juice, I'm going to be able to defend my bag. We always recommend to use a fixed blade in a self-defense scenario, but the most important weapon in a self-defense scenario is the one that's on you. And this does fit both the grips very well. That tip definitely would lead to some very good piercing and puncturing. And that bit of belly and the way that curves up is going to give you some slashing power this way. For like slicing through thick leather in front of you or something, of course. So, very ergonomic. When it hit my hand like this, there are certain knives that when they hit your hand, you fall in love with them. For me, one of them was the Manix 2. And this just jumped to the top of my Grail list by not just the overall quality, but how nice this is to use and carry and just have in your hand. The action with that big blade hole. Whoop, that was my thumb getting hooked on it. You can use the thumb just fine. If you there's no lock bar on the other side to get hung up on. My problem is my hands are numb this morning and my thumb keeps twitching and catching the blade like this. So it's been cold this morning. My fingertips are all numb and it makes it harder for me to use the thumb. But the thumb definitely does work with that big hole. Yes, I heard what I just said, the big blade opening. But where this shines is that reverse flick. That reverse flick is money. I can, index finger flip it, but the middle finger flick all day. It's such a nice flick. I can flick it with any finger. And the action, you push the button, the blade comes in. It's so nice. I don't get a lot. Whoop, that time I let go of the button. But I don't get all kinds of bounce out from this. It just wants, I need to listen to that sound. I'm going to quit talking for a second. Doesn't that sound so nice? So, the centering on this, and I know Brian carried this, or BEEC carried this for a while. And I've been playing with it for about 4 days now. Centering is perfect on it. Lockup is rock solid. Left or right, up and down. I'm locked in. I have no worries about putting pressure on the back of that blade while I'm making cuts. It is a typical style, plunge lock that you see in there, where that just moves, that fatter plunge part right there pushes out of the tang, that cut out right there in the blade. And then comes around and it acts as a stop pin right behind that tab. But then, oh no, the stop pin's right there behind, right in here. So, very nice action. I'm not going to spine whack it because that's not how you use a knife. And this isn't my knife anyway. But, so, besides that, I do feel that this is very good and secure lockup. And let's check the factory edge on this. I know Brian has probably cut a little bit with it. Look at that. That is nice. I can cut however I want. My paper was folded there so it kinked up. But it just wants to slice. Of course, that's only paper, but that's showing me that it's a nice fine edge on it from the factory on that MagnaCut. And let's take a look at the grind itself, or the bevel itself. Very even. Very even, looks very good. Our sharpening choil, so our plunge grind starts there, ends right here. And so you do have this much life to sharpen off of it, but that's going to provide quite a bit of life on a MagnaCut blade. So MagnaCut is the new hotness. It's the big deal in knife steels right now, blade steels. It was invented by Dr. Laren Thomas, one of the smartest metallurgists of our time, and the creator of Knife Steel Nerds. He wanted to create a pocket knife steel, or a knife steel, that had a great balance of all three of the areas that he measured, that are measured. You know, toughness, wear resistance or edge retention, and corrosion. Corrosion resistance, I should say. And MagnaCut is one of the few steels that can actually score high in all three marks. Most steels can only score well in 2 marks, and you have to sacrifice. You know, you might sacrifice a little toughness for some stainlessness, or get very good edge retention by sacrificing stainlessness. With MagnaCut, you're making no sacrifice. You're getting, especially at 62 to 63 HRC, you are getting a blade steel that's going to hold its edge for a good long time. You can sharpen it up at home, though. I use a fixed angle system from... Hold on, pupper. You can wait, Wiggles. Wait a minute. I'm almost done. From Work Sharp. And it's very easy to sharpen up at home. But it'll hold that edge for a long time. You can strop it back very well. But it's also going to be very tough and very stainless. Very stainless. So you're not going to have to worry very much about corrosion. It's not considered perfectly stainless, but it scores a 9.5 out of 10. So it's almost rust proof. If I were to look for one thing that I could change, not even the stop placement's fine. You're going to be able to sharpen for quite a while. I've got nothing, guys. This is on par with the quality of Kanwu that I've handled. This jumped ahead of the Padre and the Compadre on my wish list. Both of those are high on my wish list, but this passed right by them. This is just as nice in hand as my Pharaoh Monster knives. And with code EDC with DBD10, all lowercase, that will be in the description, you can save 10%, which takes this from $270 to $243. Less than $250 for the full tie 8-inch knife of MagnaCut steel. I'm going to give you some size comparisons before we're done. We'll start off with the prototype. And as you can see, the Unnamed is a fair bit larger than the prototype. And we're going to actually move a little higher to do that next comparison. Let's go with a couple of full-size knives. And you know what? We got to move this for a moment. So, the PM2 is bigger. If we go pivot to pivot, blade and choil, very similar length. The PM2 has more handle. We'll stick with Spyderco. And very, very similar in length to a Manix 2 lightweight, but with a little bit more finger choil, or a little bit more blade length. How about the budget banger from last year, and still one of the best values on the knife market? This is VV Vision FG. Very similar length to the Vision FG. How about a pyrite? The Bowie pyrite from CJRB. Man, I gotta clean that blade every single time I touch it. But quite a bit bigger. Two more comparisons. Couple of the OG EDC not bangers, but just EDC like the Godfather knives. The Demco 8020.5. I guess the 8020 would actually be the Godfather. This would be the Godson. Quite a bit bigger than the 20.5. And a bug out. By the way, this bug out with the gorgeous Unlocked Composites carbon fiber scales and the awesome matching Lynch Northwest deep carry clip is available for trade. I'm open to offers. Hit me up. So there you go. As you can see, definitely a full-size EDC. It does go in and out of the pocket very well with this clip and these scales. At 4.9 ounces, you know, it's a little heavier. It might weigh down your gym shorts. But overall, fantastic knife. Very well executed. I can actually manipulate it very well left-handed, and I'm not left-handed capable very much at all. So, I love this knife. That's about all I got to say about this. I want to, again, shout out the homeboy Mad Yako. Some of these stickers will be going in with the giveaway stuffs. We got a lot of giveaways coming up. You're going to want to be paying attention for that. There's several knives already here and on the way for giveaway. Be watching all my channels. Be watching TikTok and Instagram as well at EDC with DBD. There will be a TikTok only giveaway. So, let me know what you guys think of the Unnamed below. I think this is not just a home run for TakCom's first folder, but a grand slam. I will be getting me one of these. This one will have to leave in in another several days, but until then, I will be enjoying it. Like to know your thoughts below. Hope everybody has a killer day. Stay safe, stay frosty, but most importantly, stay deadly.